And Showtime, as sponsored by Red Square and BetSBG.com. This World Championship attraction is sanctioned by the WBO, the president Francisco Valcarcel, supervisor is John Duggan, the WBU president John Robinson, supervisor Charles Robinson, and the British Boxing Board of Control, the steward in charge is Di Furnish. Introducing our three judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Harry Davis. From Chicago, Illinois in the United States, Mike Gliena. And from Leeds, England, Mickey Van. Our referee in charge of this bout is from Chicago, Illinois, working in this his 55th world title bout, Gino Rodriguez. All right, fans, here we go with our co-main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO and WBU Junior Middleweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world from the Cardiff Castle in Wales, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my right, he is fighting out of the blue corner, wearing silver trunks with red trim, fighting out of Margate, England by way of Tehran, Iran. His weight, 11 stone even, or 154 U.S. pounds. His record, 19 wins, 2 losses, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked the WBO #2 junior middleweight in the world. Here is the WBU light middleweight champion, introducing Takaloo. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 12-round championship bout, wearing black trunks with blue trim, joining us from Bayamon, Puerto Rico. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 11 stone even, or 154 U.S. pounds. His record stands at 25 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest, with 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former welterweight world champion and the current WBO junior middleweight champion of the world, introducing Daniel Santos. Once again, a referee in charge, Gino Rodriguez, now to give instructions, 12 rounds of action scheduled.
Takaloo looks very relaxed.
Gentlemen, you got my instructions. I want you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. And good luck to you. Shake hands.
But has he got the class necessary to beat Daniel Santos? He'll certainly have the strength, and if conditioning won world championships, he'd have won this already. He was in a bit of a thriller last time against Gary Logan at domestic level. I thought he made pretty hard work of that as an audition for this. So Santos, the defending champion in the black trunks, the silver of Takaloo, the Margate-based fighter of Iranian stock. Friendly, likable individual, Takaloo. Fast hands, Santos. And he does carry a bit of a whack as well, as Neil Sinclair, the British welterweight champion, found out when Santos did for him in a couple of rounds. Takaloo looking to manhandle Santos and getting a little cautionary word from Gino Rodriguez about that. He's going to be looking to make his strength count. Body punching might be one of the keys for Takaloo.
Yeah, but first he has to get in there. He's got to get in close to make his strength and fitness tell, and that could be another problem altogether.
Coping with the southpaw style as well of Santos. Takaloo has done 30 rounds of sparring with Joe Calzaghe ahead of this fight. Did other sparring as well, of course. And 4 training sessions a day, including sprints up and down a rugby field and chopping logs with an axe, weight training. just physically sick. That's what he told me yesterday.
Well, it's all good. You've got to work so very hard, and I'm sure he has. But one of the things to watch out for is leaving it in the gym, being over prepared. You know, hopefully he's right for this fight.
Gino Rodriguez might have his work cut out now. There's been a cut here, I think. Somebody's sustained some damage. Takaloo is... Let's have another look at that. He's on the blind side from us at the moment. There's a cut by the right eye, and he's tagged by a left hand as well. Took the punch well. I think the referee was just indicating to the judges that it was probably accidentally caused.
It was just a cut under the right eyebrow, in a bad place to get so early in the fight. I think there was a clash of heads that caused it.
And if the significance of that is that if the fight was to end before there were 4 completed rounds, this could be declared a no contest. We definitely think it was a clash of heads. There's not too much blood at the moment, but it's a bad start that for Takaloo. He didn't need that. That's what he wants to be doing, Takaloo, making strength count on the inside, making feel the strength of a full-blown light middleweight. That wasn't a bad little interlude for Takaloo, but he's had to take a few snappy rights and left hands from Santos. There's Joe Calzaghe already back out there to watch this fight with his wife. Fan too.
Well, Santos, it wasn't really a good first round. There was a clash of heads that led to that cut. They just didn't quite, the styles gel right, all a bit awkward, and there just rushes in a bit, Takaloo, and walks onto the head of Santos. Very much an accident there, just a little bit eager to get in, and often happens when Southpaw and Orthodox meet. The front feet are together, and the bodies come closer much quicker, and cuts often occur in clashes like this.
So good work from the corner to do. I know that the Takaloo connections have been lumping money on him with the bookmakers. One of the team told me he was having £1,000 on his man to win this fight. And that was just what he told me about. This is round 2, the WBO Light Middleweight Championship, recently held by the excellent Harry Simon. Recently we've seen the eclipse of 2 of our other leading light middles, and Steve Roberts and Gary Lockett. Wayne Alexander might be waiting for the winner of this one. A little shot on the inside there. It was a good one from Takaloo. His tactics are definitely to try to rough up Santos close in. He's managed to get there a couple of times.
Yep, he's got to let Santos feel the strength, the natural weight of Takaloo. But he's a quick puncher, Santos.
One of the questions is whether Takaloo's clever enough to get inside often enough.
You notice Takaloo coming in pretty low. I think he's worked on that, crouching, bending the knees and coming in pretty low underneath the punches.
This is easily the biggest fight of Takaloo's career. Those fast left hands do trouble him. Santos pretty conservative, well used to boxing away from home, and you wouldn't say the atmosphere was exactly raucous. It might suit Takaloo more if this was in some small hall with a really intimidating atmosphere for Santos, but it isn't like that here. It's in fact quite a pleasant place to be for him. Open air, late at night, quite balmy, bit of breeze now.
Yeah, and that might just take away from the motivation a little bit. You need that crowd behind you to push you on, especially if you're the challenger.
I think Takaloo would rather have had the fight on Margate Beach.
They're back.
Well, he's got his chance. It doesn't matter where it is. And that's really the mental attitude he's got to adopt. He's just got to go for it. And you're talking to him, that's what he said he was going to do.
Just the odd jab from Daniel Santos. He's not doing that much, is he?
No, he's not. Just picking a little bit more with the jab, not allowing Takaloo to get that close.
Neither of them really able to make it their kind of fight so far. Takaloo, they're still working on that cut. He's become a father about 6 weeks ago, Takaloo, for the first time. He's hardly seen the baby because he's been away in a London flat, locked away, busy with his training. So no chance to see the new family yet. He wants to go back to them as the WBO light middleweight champion of the world to add to his less significant WBU title.
Well, his right hand there over the top just shook Santos a little bit.
I think Santos can be hit and hurt. I don't think he's the most durable of champions.
We've seen him on the floor before, has been stopped, and Takaloo now trying to open up with a big shot.
Greater tempo from Takaloo. Bit more urgency.
Well, he needed to do that. He's really got to let Santos know he's in there, know what he's got.
Fighting with greater intensity. It was all a bit sleepy for the first couple of rounds, during which Takaloo picked up that nasty cut by the right eye. Probably the first 2 rounds to the defending champion. Again, he tried the body slam. Now, if he does that again, he's going to get a point deducted. He's done that twice.
Yeah, not really sure what he's doing that for, other than to let Santos know how strong he is. But in doing that, it takes strength out of himself, you know, so he's got to stop it.
Better from Takaloo, though, in this round. He does have trouble with the speed of the left hand that Santos has when he whips that punch in. Nothing usually wrong with Takaloo's chin.
He's just got to try and be a little bit busier. He was at the beginning of this round. Takaloo needs to keep it up for 3 minutes of every round. He's got the fitness, he needs to use that.
Set a fast pace.
Yeah, just keep the shots going, really put Santos under pressure and let the big ones go and mix them up, and that's the best way of getting a shot on.
Santos just frustrating Takaloo, though, in the main. And then whipping in the odd combination. That's a bit better from Takaloo.
We can't really afford to give Santos time. Santos, you know, a good boxer. He's proven that right from his amateur days. Takaloo's got to really put pressure on.
Santos was an Olympic bronze medalist in 1996. He's the one with the pedigree here. That's a low blow, says Takaloo. Touch gloves. But it's a frustrating night for Takaloo so far.
Jab, lead with the right hand. Not like you've done in the gym with Joe Kawasaki. Start doing it. Lead off with the right hand. Yeah, and screw the right hand through as well. You're too strong for him, Tak. Boxing really well. You've been intelligent, boxing smart. Oh, no respect. Come on, Tak. You're a world champion.
Pep talk in the corner from Jim McDonald for Takaloo. And the strategic advice was throw a lead right hand more. He doesn't naturally lead with the right, does he?
No, he doesn't. But right hands are the punch you look for against the southpaw. Referee just struggling there to wipe the water from Santos' corner.
I think in general they want Takaloo to be a little more assertive. Might be easier said than done against this canny champion from Bayamon in Puerto Rico. Rangy 6-footer.
Right, look up. Watch your step. Watch your head.
It just seems hard to get to somehow, doesn't he, Santos?
Yes, he does. He doesn't give a lot away. He's a classy boxer. Difficult for Takaloo to find the gaps.
And he's the kind, too, who could punish you on the counter. This is more where Takaloo needs to be. Pinned to Santos's chest.
Santos moving well out of the range of that wild left hook.
Oh, that's a good left hand from Takaloo. Down goes Santos. And he claims he was pushed down. But the referee has ruled that as a knockdown. So where's a breakthrough for Takaloo in the fourth? Well, can he follow that up, Takaloo, here?
Well, he got a good shot on. There did seem a bit of a push for me, a little bit off balance for Santos. You know, this is where Takaloo has got to be careful he doesn't walk into anything.
You'd like to see that again, wouldn't you, the punch? But this is much better for Takaloo. His best yet in round 4. He certainly ruffled the feathers of the champion here. Good uppercut from him as well. Now, can he drag Santos into a toe-to-toe brawl?
Got caught by a right hand there from Santos as he was coming in.
Back.
Good defensive work from Santos. Just took it out of the way of that wild hook from Takaloo.
Again, a little uppercut on the inside from Takaloo. He's having his best round yet, no doubt about that. Keep the punches up. Referee to Santos. Just trying some different angles here, isn't he? Takaloo here.
Yep, just got to be a little careful that he keeps his hands up when he does that. But he's trying different things. That's what he's got to try and do.
Santos back to his boxing. Behind the right lead, but Takaloo's round with the knockdown. Real hope for him there.
Yep, that was good. That gave him the little lift that he needed. He did catch the chin of Santos. There's a big left hook, excellent shot, but the legs look all right, and that's where it just looked a little push for me.
Was it a delayed action fall? I think that's what the referee felt.
Well, he did look to the outside of the ring as if to look to another judge about that, but he did get the shot on. It was a good shot, but doubts about the balance, and he was quick to signal himself, you know, that he was pushed over.
It was debatable. He held onto the ropes for a moment. There was no other punch. And did he just then lose his balance? But did he lose his balance as a result of that initial shot? It was a questionable one.
Well, I think confidence-wise, he did get something out of that Takaloo. He's seen him on the floor. That will have, you know, really raised him a bit. Knows he can catch him and can hurt him.
But he'll probably go down 10-8 Takaloo on the scorecards. That's the only real thing that matters because of that knockdown. Round 5. Cagey battle, really, though, between these two. The stars not gelling too well. A lot of Vaseline around that right eye. I'm surprised the referee doesn't want some of that wiped away.
Well, that's the problem for Takaloo as well, because that drops in the eye. It really does hamper the vision.
Yeah, they want some of that wiped away. Goodness me, he's got a jar full on there, hasn't he?
Yep, they put plenty on. You can see Takaloo having to wipe it off himself. That does give you problems.
It'll cost you a fortune in the chemist, all that lot. Takaloo did have that success in the fourth. Now, can that lift him? Not much in those jabs, really, by Santos. They're almost little range finders, aren't they, than anything else?
He just prods them out, and he just looks to get the range for his biggest shots, and that's the left hand that he tries to get in.
He's quite elusive, though. Terry Stewart's controlling the cut okay for Takaloo. Doing a good job with that, the blood not running into the eye.
Takaloo trying to keep the head on the move, not leave himself open for the quick countering left from Santos.
These are the biggest technical questions I think Takaloo's ever been asked in his career. How to work an opening. Made to miss. He tried the counter punch, Santos didn't get there with it. Better head movement from Takaloo. His own defense has been improved here, I think.
Well, he's trying to get in the range, trying with these overhand hooks, but it's smart boxing from Santos, just pushing that jab out.
But a lot of the time he's hitting gloves with it, or it's a pretty powder puff jab. Takaloo misses by about a yard.
Yeah, he's just doing the Matador bull routine now, Santos, but Takaloo got through there.
Yep, little right hand. And Santos just wants to hold on for a moment. The strength factor does come into play. The full-grown light middle about against the guy recently up from welterweight. Maybe the late rounds would be where that started to tell.
For you next week, Tuesday night, the under-21s in action. Scotland under-21s against Denmark under-21s. And on Wednesday night, the full international, Scotland against Denmark. Both matches live from 7 on Sky Sports 1. The question here, whether Takaloo can graduate to senior world level.
A spot on, Paul. Answers coming up. Round 6. Takaloo in the silver trunks. Just being outboxed, not by much. He's had Santos on the floor. A debatable knockdown, it has to be said, in the 4th round.
Well, he's pressing hard now, Takaloo. A couple of good left hooks landed for him early on.
That's where Takaloo wants him. Pin him in the corner, ram home the heavier shots. Takaloo talking to his man in the corner. This fight was due to have gone ahead initially in Santos's native Puerto Rico, but they could never quite get the deal together there. That's why it's ended up here, and that's all to Takaloo's advantage, on paper anyway.
Well, he's finding difficulty getting to the head of Santos. I think the tactic should be go for the body more. It's a lot less elusive.
Santos has reached this higher world level and is in no hurry to abdicate his throne. But there's some hope, I'd say, for Takaloo. Still a long way to go.
Well, he's certainly trying to make it rough for Santos in there. He's forcing the pace in this round, but neither one throwing a great deal of shots.
No, those punches didn't land from Santos. Then the right lead did. But nearly all his scoring is with that little kind of tentative right hand jab, isn't it?
Another left hook for Takaloo. That one landed. That's a couple in this round of decent shots.
Takaloo much more the brawler. Santos very definitely the boxer. Heavier shots from Takaloo. There's another one, the right hand.
And Santos noticeably more thoughtful in this round. He Decent punch with the left from him.
He's got in the game. Is he just slowing him down? He's trying to roughhouse him, take him into the trenches. That's all part of the Takaloo plan. He's starting to get there, isn't he?
Yep, another good right hand. It's a few decent left hooks. A couple of good right hands over the top, and that was Takaloo's round.
Yep, I think that was very good for him. Let's get another view on it. Spencer Oliver's with Ed Robinson.
Well, Spencer, how do you think Takaloo's doing?
Well, at the moment, I've got Santos running away with this by a couple of rounds. Takaloo at the moment is being made to look a little one-dimensional. The reason for this is because he's loading up with single shots. He's trying to get in there. He's seen that he can hurt Santos. He's seen what Neil Sinclair done to him when he boxed him. He's trying to get in there, and he's just trying to load up with these big shots. He needs to relax and put the combinations together.
And if he lands with one of those big shots?
If he lands with one of those big shots, he knows that he can hurt Santos. We've seen that already. If he lands one of those shots, then it could be good night Vienna. But you can look for those big shots all night. He needs to relax, get close, and let the combinations go.
But he can still win the fight?
Of course he can. Yeah, there's only a point or two in it for my money anyway for Santos. But he can still win this contest. Yeah.
Thanks, Spencer.
Ed Robinson, we wish him well next Saturday, and his bride-to-be Catherine. Have a great day, Ed.
Yep, I'll second that.
7th round coming up. Silver Trunks, Takaloo. The last round, I thought, real grounds for encouragement for Takaloo. He started to land a significant number of punches. Santos wasn't slipping so many. Now, can he build on that? Can he make this his night?
Well, my opinion differs from that of Spencer. I've got Takaloo 1 point ahead with that 10-8 round. I've got him up and doing well and looking strong and getting off with those shots, and I think he's worrying Santos a little bit.
I've got Santos a point ahead. Somewhere in between you and Spenny. Always the diplomat.
Break it up, break it up. All right, let's go.
But this is no formality, I think, for Daniel Santos. A lot of people thought his class would be too much for Takaloo. Takaloo doesn't think it. Suspicion that he's landing the heavier punches.
Yeah, well, I mean, Santos has also just recently moved up to this division, so, he could be feeling it a bit more.
Good left hand that from Santos, classy. Yeah, remember Nigel Benn saying when he went up from middleweight to super middleweight, it took him a year, 18 months to really properly make the transition.
Most definitely, it does take time. You've got to settle in, and you've got somebody very fit, very strong against you. It makes life hard.
Cut's getting a bit worse for Takaloo by that right eye. Blood starting to just obscure the vision a bit. Santos just stepping it up a little in this round. You get that sense, don't you?
Well, we know he can do that, Ian. He does go to sleep a little bit in fights, but then, comes alive very well indeed. He's that type of fighter.
He's just moving to another level, perhaps, Santos. Now, that would be ominous for Takaloo. He's finding that little bit extra, Santos. Looks as if he's just loosening up a little and starting to let the punches flow a little. That's good from Takaloo, but he needs much more.
Well, he did that in his last fight, Santos, against Yoriboy Campos. At times he looked a bit asleep, got forward shots, but round 11 brought it all back and got Campos out of there.
But you wouldn't put Santos in the same class as De La Hoya, Vargas, Winky Wright. He's not up there, is he?
No, he's not. He's just a level down from that, but he is a good competitor.
De La Hoya and Vargas meet in an absolute mouth-watering clash on September the 14th.
He's now showing he's really feeling the pace. You've got to put a little more pressure on him now. You've got to work your way around to move your head as you come in. Don't come in just not wild. Move it, but really impose your strength on him now, Tag. All the weight well down, Terry. Impose that strength.
Jim McDonnell, who beat Barry McGuigan, didn't he, very late in Barry's career. I think it was Barry's last fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. He was a very good fighter himself, always very fit. And he makes sure that his fighters are in similar condition.
He used to have a pulse rate of 34, Jim McDonnell. About half that of a normal man. He was that fit. 8th round. Santos in the black trunks, the man from Puerto Rico, 2-time world champion for the World Boxing Organization, welter and light middle. I think one thing Takaloo lacks a bit is quick hands.
Yeah, he winds them up a lot. He tries to get a lot of power in them, and he hasn't got the quick straight punches. Most of them come with a little bit of a bend in the arm.
It's a quality you need too against a fairly elusive boxer like Daniel Santos. There very much is that bull matador feel to this that Glenn mentioned. But I do think Takaloo's a danger man for Santos every second he's in there. Good left hand there. That looked a sharp shot from Santos.
But that looked to just stop Takaloo in his tracks for a second. But he still starts again and starts letting the shots go with Santos on the ropes.
Needs more of that, but he was pulling him behind the head and pulling him onto the punches. And that was a shame for Takaloo because it allowed Santos out.
Now Santos' turn to go forward and get Takaloo on the ropes.
Takaloo just having words with the referee. I never like to see that with the fighter. It always seems like a bit of a distress signal to me.
Always a bit unprofessional to do that. Let the referee do his job. There's always good referees at this level.
Santos looking boss at the moment.
Yeah, he's just changed his strategy a bit in this round. Santos starting to take the fight to Takaloo.
Quick hands as well. More thoughtful look. Takaloo on the back foot. More or less for the first time. He's just showing his extra class, Santos here.
This is where Takaloo needs to try and pick it up.
Got him with a little left hook at the end of the round, Takaloo, but Santos for me, and I've got him 3 points clear now. I've given Santos the last 2. Glenn, what is your
Well,
scorecard say?
I've given Santos the last 2 as well, but I've just got Santos 1 point ahead. But he's just starting to change tactics and starting to push forward.
We've got, it's round 9, you've got 4 rounds, they've got 12 minutes, there's 1 track session.
73 punches landed, Santos, 71 Takaloo. The computer's got it close. That doesn't tell you about quality of shots, that kind of thing. I think Takaloo's landed the heavier shots.
Don't load up on all your shots. Start letting them gain clusters, combinations of shots.
Well, we heard Jim McDonald say just 12 minutes left. You know, they know how hard they've prepared. They want Takaloo now to pick it up in the late stages.
Seconds out.
Well, I still believe fighters are the fittest sportsmen around.
Most definitely, you have to be to compete at this level in this sport.
Let's go into the Takaloo corner and get a quick word with trainer Jim McDonald.
Jim, it's very close. Is Takaloo doing enough?
Well, at the moment, you know, he's challenging for the title, so obviously he's got to go and try and take it. Probably got him around behind on the scorecards at the moment, in my opinion.
We'll let you go quickly. How much of a problem?
Well, Jim McDonald has to interrupt his interview with Craig Slater because they're having to wipe away the grease around the eye that they're using because of the cuts Takaloo has sustained. Let's go back to Craig.
How much of a problem is that cut?
It's a massive problem. It was falls in the first round, I think, by a clash of heads. I didn't see a clip of it. Takaloo said it was a clash of heads, or he banged him in the head. But, you know, he's boxed under restriction from the first round. But technically, I think he's boxing well. You know, the kid's a tall southpaw, from world champion. And Takaloo's very, very strong, and he'll keep coming. So he's going to be dangerous right to the end. At the moment, it's about rounding it probably in Santos' favour.
Okay, we'll let you get back to the action.
Thanks, guys.
Something a bit different, a little insight from the corner. And Jim McDonald can now get back to work. 9th round. It's one of those fights, this, where there are several ways you could interpret the action, so I would think maybe you might even be heading for something a little contentious or controversial.
But noticeable, Jim McDonald still thinks his man's behind by a point. So, you know, he's a pretty level-headed man in the corner. Not getting carried away at all.
Now, if Takaloo is making his extra strength count in there, this is maybe where Santos might slow up a bit and be a little easier to hit. Maybe, in theory.
Well, that's what they'll be hoping, isn't it? Nice little short right hand from Takaloo. He's really got to put big pressure on, let the shots go non-stop.
Just looking for one that might hit the bullseye. Takaloo. He's not really a big puncher, but he does wear you down. He's quite heavy-handed, reasonable to the body. Probably needs to improve his boxing skills a wee bit.
Yeah, very few straight shots gone in, very little use of the jab, all hooks for the most part from Takaloo, and I think that's been a problem for him a bit.
Good right hand, though, landed around the forehead, around the temple area. That can sometimes be a winning punch for a fighter.
Stop.
Disorientating effect.
Doctor, come on, doctor.
Now, they're calling the doctor now to have a look at the cuts that Takaloo has sustained.
Doctor, check them out.
I can't think they're going to stop it on this, are they?
Well, it does look pretty bad, the eye, but there's not a lot of blood.
Well, that would be a terrible ending for Takaloo.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, they're going to let it go. I thought they would. He seems to be able to see fine, and there's no sort of swelling. He comes back with a good right hand, and that lifted the crowd as well, and Takaloo himself. He may be thinking now, I better stop this guy before the cut stops me.
Yeah, well, he's got to try that, but there was a good shot coming back from Santos.
Just a bit of air of desperation in there now for Takaloo.
Well, he's got to use whatever he is holding and hitting there.
No point deduction, he's done it a couple of times. Oh, great right hand, and that wobbled the legs of Santos. Best punch yet, I think, from Takaloo. Legs wobbled. He didn't do badly in that round. Well, that will have taken something out of Santos. That right hand, I think.
Well, it was a decent shot, but really that's his hope. That's what he's got to go for, the big ones. Nice one on the side of the head there, but he comes straight back. Santos with a hook of his own. He's always pretty aware, looking for the counter himself.
That was a good shot, I thought, by Takaloo. Last 3 rounds coming up in this. Probably close-ish, but Santos ahead from me anyway.
Yep, I've got Santos 2 points ahead.
Take us out, let's go.
Go get it, Jack!
Harry Davis of Canada, Mike Diana of the USA, and Britain's Mickey Vann are scoring this. There's no doubt about it, Santos is the one with the more refined, silky skills of the two.
Yes, but he's not been super impressive here, doing a little bit more nicer skills and a bit more elusive, but you know, it's still there for Takaloo to try for. Just 9 minutes to go.
Their little right hand from Takaloo. No, that just hit the glove, that right hand there, despite the cheers from some of the fans at the back.
Some right from Santos there.
Some lovely right through the middle. More accuracy, too, from the defending champion.
Oh, stop. Don't grab him, let's go, don't grab him, back.
Santos having the best of the round so far. Takaloo being frustrated.
Stop. Let him go. Let him go. Stop. Back.
Another decent shot from Santos, starting to stand more, looking to get more power in these punches.
Right, look it up, look it up, look it up.
All those fights in the amateurs, you don't win an Olympic bronze medal without having a fair degree of skill. Takaloo getting outboxed at the moment in there. Punches coming from one or two angles that he hadn't dreamt about.
Well, he's in closest where he's going to get his hands free, try and work Takaloo.
Again, the right eye looks quite bad for Takaloo.
Little body shot there, and then he nods at his own work, Santos.
He enjoyed that one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Almost looked at Takaloo as if to say, aren't I good?
Stop, 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 stop. Back.
Just unveiling more of his repertoire. Daniel Santos here.
Yes, more contenders try and stand and get the shots on now, isn't he?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, big round that for Santos.
Okay.
This is a bit what I thought might happen. That Takaloo wouldn't just quite have the skills.
Yep, that's what's happening. The class just telling, still not many punches in it. Just 6, the difference in Santos's favour. Success rate very, very close.
He's a bit tired on the stool there, doesn't he, Santos? But he didn't in the ring in the action.
No, he didn't. You know, he's setting his feet, he's standing more, looking confident.
Calzaghe is watching at ringside. And also Miguel Jimenez is there supporting his fellow Puerto Rican, Daniel Santos. They're great friends.
Check us out.
Not Calzaghe and Jimenez, Santos and Jimenez.
Stop, stop, let him go. Stop.
This is the 11th.
Don't push him down, don't push him down. Let's go.
Some of the rounds open maybe to different interpretations. But just an overriding feeling that Takaloo, though he's had his moments, needs to be doing more.
That eye looking worse, although still they've done very well to control the blood from that.
That was a rotten bit of luck for him, really, that to happen in the first round, wasn't it? With an accidental clash of heads.
Yes, it was. You know, he didn't need that so early. It just gives you worries that, you know, you shouldn't really have.
That's a rabbit punch from Santos.
Don't hit him, don't hit him.
And I think he knew it. But he's a pretty lenient referee, isn't he, this Gino Rodriguez? He's let most things go with just a word. Hasn't felt need to recourse to point deductions.
Just switching back to the boxing, using that southpaw jab to good effect.
Getting hard for Takaloo. He just can't find a way to land a shot. Santos is on the move all the time and popping his jab when he needs to. It's jab and run. Takaloo needs to cut him off on the corners if he can.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let him go, let him go.
There's a bit of welcome to the big league about this, isn't there, for Takaloo?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's a big step up in class for Takaloo, but you know, he's trying hard all the time to get in range, to get something on. It just looks as if he needed a bit more.
It certainly hasn't been disgraced.
Oh, by no means.
Far from it. He's put up a pretty good effort, and the fight has been close-ish. It's just a feeling in the last couple of rounds of Santos beginning to take over.
Let him go, let him go.
with his faster hands, and this Takaloo is quite happy to hold on for a moment or two.
Yeah.
Just looks a bit dazed, doesn't he?
He's hurt.
Takaloo, he is hurt. He's covering up. Takaloo. Santos senses he's got his man hurt. This is good defensive work from Takaloo. He's getting the gloves up, trying to ride the storm out, but can he do that? 12 seconds left in the round. Takaloo needs the foul. He was shaken up.
Yes, he's badly hurt, Ian. Really hanging on in there.
Another little left hand at Takaloo. Does hear that foul, as he deserved to, really, because that was a gritty last half a minute from Takaloo to get through that, because he came out of that incident in the corner with a flurry of shots with his eyes nearly in orbit.
Yeah, big round for Santos there. And he was desperately hurt. He did well to get through it. You know, his instinct for survival were good. You know, he covered up as Santos unloads in there, and the ropes just giving him that extra support, because when he came off the ropes, his legs were all over the place. They're mixing it up, trying hard to finish the fight early.
Right, round to go. I've got it to Santos by 4.
I've got the Santos by 5. I thought that was big enough to even give it a 10-8 round.
Let's go. Let us out.
Yeah, I thought he was on the verge of getting stopped.
Hold. Get that water now. Get that water. Let's go. All right, let's go.
Last round coming up. Not happy with the water that's been spilt in Santos's corner. Looks a bit puffy by his left eye, Santos. Takaloo, does he need a knockout? How close have the judges got it? Santos will be a bit worried, won't he, that he's fighting away from him. He had that debatable one, didn't he, with Ahmed Kotiev in Germany, where a lot of people thought he won it, and he didn't get it.
That'll be starting to come into his mind now as he gets near the end. And Takaloo's still on his feet. He'll start to be thinking that. He'll still want to get this done inside schedule if he can, and you know, he'll be trying.
Lovely counter shot to the body from Daniel Santos. Santos is no kind of boxing sensation, but he does have fast hands, good skills, and he's hard to tag, and it makes quite an effective package. He may be that bit better than he actually looks.
Yeah, I think he could be. You know, sometimes he's a little bit lazy, I think, but I think there's an awful lot of skill there.
He's taken over, really, hasn't he, down the home straight here?
Yeah, he has. Last 4 or 5 rounds really been well on top. But still, Takaloo tries to come forward. A determined effort from him.
Let's get there with a right hand and another one, too. Needs more of that, Takaloo. He just has to throw caution to the wind, really, Takaloo now, I think. Just over a minute to go, and it demands that from him. Have to risk the counters. Another right hand from Takaloo. Brave effort from him here. Good little rally. And again, this time he goes to the left, lost his balance. Ref lets it go on.
Well, he's trying so hard to get some success in there. Very little time.
Santos still looks fairly light on his feet, though. He's just never really been able to make that supposed extra strength of the full-blown light middleweight count. Last quarter of a minute. And it looks like Daniel Santos has done enough to retain his title. No, let's not try to second-guess the judges.
Well, it's a rugged effort from Takaloo, but probably not enough.
A bold effort. He did everything he knew how. Takaloo, he raises his arms, but I think Santos won those last few rounds and pulled away a bit in the end. Just not quite enough from Takaloo, and he's cut by both eyes in the end. His face is a mess. And he doesn't look like he thinks he's won, does he?
No, he doesn't. He put his arms in the air, but still didn't do it with confidence. It got hard for him in the second half of the fight, where I think just that extra bit of class, the better style told. You know, he just had a better repertoire, Daniel Santos. And Takaloo just found wanting, but you know, a really good learning fight for him, and you know, he'll gain a lot from this.
116-111, my card in favour of Santos. Well, he went the distance and he performed with honour, Takaloo, but so often boxing is about levels, isn't it? And I think Santos proved that he was just a level above Takaloo tonight. 19 punches in it, 129 to 110 in terms of punches landed according to the computer stats, which are not the Bible, but they are a guide, as we so often say. There's Glenn's card, something similar to mine.
Yeah, 116-110 in favour of Santos, who just the second part of the fight, from the 7th round, just took over.
And he understands all the figures as well, Santos. He majored in economics at the University of Puerto Rico, one of the boxing brain boxes he is. We'll get the official scorecards coming out now from the Canada, America and British judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score total. Judge at ringside, Harry Davis, scores the bout 117 to 110. Judge Mickey Van sees it 116 to 112. And Mike Liana scores the bout 116 to 111. All three in favor of the winner, the WBO Junior Middleweight Champion, Daniel Santos.
Santos retains the title, and I think the judges have got that spot on. No argument. I don't think there's any controversy whatsoever. Santos outboxed Takaloo, especially late on, to retain the title. But no disgrace at all for the Kent-based Iranian in that defeat.
A salutary tale for us all, the jump into world class, how tough it can be. Neil Sinclair gives us his verdict next. We also hear from Nicky Piper and Barry Jones, and we hope to get a word with a defeated but still proud loser, Takaloo.